You know, it's almost a knee-jerk reaction, thinking that running is just plain bad for your knees.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm guessing that's something you've probably heard, maybe even taken as fact.
It's a really persistent idea, isn't it? And honestly, when you think about the repetitive impact,
Yeah,
it's easy to see why people would assume that.
exactly. The pound, it just sounds like it's got to be doing some damage over time.
Hmm.
But for this deep dive, we really wanted to cut through those assumptions
Yeah, let's get past the hearsay.
and look at what the experts who study this stuff are actually saying. We're basing this on recent findings about running and knee health.
And we've uncovered some really, I think, compelling information. We're drawing from insights shared by sports medicine physicians and orthopedic surgeons, recently featured in HuffPost Life.
Okay, great. So our mission today is to really unpack this widely held belief.
Get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and maybe share some surprising truths about how running truly affects your knees. Sound good?
Absolutely, let's do it. But first, we need to address something really important,
Okay.
especially for listeners who might already have some knee concerns.
Mm.
The doctors we looked at, they were very clear on this.
Yes, this is crucial. So, Dr. Jeffrey Fleming, he's a sports medicine physician at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center and also the medical director for the Pittsburgh Marathon.
Right.
And Dr. A.J. Monceau, a sports medicine physician at West Virginia University. They both highlighted really the same essential point,
Richie.
which is if you're currently dealing with arthritis or, any kind of knee injury, your very first step needs to be talking to your doctor.
Before you even think about running.
Exactly, before you start.
It's just so important to remember that everyone's situation is, well, unique. Dr. Fleming pointed out the symptoms, the limitations that come with arthritis or other issues.
Yeah.
They vary so widely, person to person.
That makes total sense. And Dr. Monceau added another really vital piece of advice.
Yeah.
If you do start running and you feel any sharp pain or even just like a consistent dull ache in your joints afterwards.
Don't ignore it.
Right, that's a signal. Stop. Get it checked out by a doctor.
Yeah.
Pushing through that kind of pain, it could lead to bigger problems later on.
Yeah, you don't want to make things worse.
It's really about listening to your body, and getting professional advice when something feels off.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big caveat, the crucial first step for anyone with existing issues, talk to your doctor.
Right.
But for those of you listening with generally healthy knees, here's where things get, well, really interesting.
Yeah, this is the part that might just flip your perception of running.
It really might.
Because, kind of bucking that common wisdom, Dr. Monceau actually mentioned there's growing evidence suggesting running, when you're not injured,
Yeah.
can actually help improve cartilage health.
That's right. Improve it. And for you, the listener, the key thing here is healthy knees. Running might not just be neutral. It
Yeah.
could actually be good for your cartilage.
Okay, so explain that a bit. What does healthy cartilage actually do for us?
Well, think of it like this. It's the tissue that acts as a lubricant in your joints,
Okay.
and it helps absorb shock when you move. So healthy cartilage means your bones aren't just grinding or taking the full force of every step.
So instead of just wearing it down, which is what I think most people imagine,
Mm-hmm.
this activity for healthy knees might actually be helping keep things running smoothly. That's quite a shift.
It is a significant shift. And the benefits seem to go beyond just the cartilage. Dr. Sean Thompson, he's an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay,
He also noted that running can help strengthen the muscles and even the bones around your knees.
that's another eye-opener. You tend to think of running as maybe just legs and cardio,
Right,
but it sounds like it has a broader impact on the whole support structure.
precisely. And Dr. Thompson also highlighted another really significant potential benefit. Running can help prevent osteoporosis
Ah, osteoporosis.
by increasing bone density.
Right, that's when bones get weaker, more brittle, becomes more of a concern as we age, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's particularly common, or the risk increases, in postmenopausal women. That's often due to the decrease in estrogen, which plays a role in maintaining bone density.
Okay.
So Dr. Thompson explained that exercise, especially if you start before and continue through menopause, can really help build up that bone density.
Yeah.
Gives you a stronger skeletal foundation, as those hormonal shifts happen.
So for listeners maybe approaching or going through that phase, this is another good reason to think about staying active.
Definitely adds another layer to the potential benefits of movement.
Okay, so we've got potential benefits for cartilage, stronger supporting muscles, stronger bones. Now what about the big one? The elephant in the room, maybe. The fear that running causes arthritis.
This is where the latest research offers some, well, Potentially very reassuring news for a lot of people. Dr. Fleming directly addressed this.
Yeah.
And the short answer, based on current findings, is that we don't believe running causes arthritis in your knees.
Wow. That's a pretty strong statement. Really challenges that idea we started with.
It does. It goes against a lot of the common narrative.
Totally.
And what's even more interesting, perhaps, is that some evidence actually suggests recreational runners might have a lower likelihood of developing arthritis.
Wait, lower compared to people who don't run?
Compared to non-runners, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Is that just because of the running itself? Or could other things be involved? That seems almost backward.
Yeah, it's a good question. Dr. Fleming touched on that. He pointed out it's not entirely clear if this lower rate is solely because of the running, or if it's linked to the sort of generally healthier lifestyle that many runners tend to have.
Like diet, other exercise, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Things like paying more attention to diet, maybe being more consistent with overall exercise routines. So it could very well be a combination of these healthy habits working together.
That makes sense. Health is rarely just about one single factor, is it? So it really sounds like for people with healthy knees, running might not be the villain we've made it out to be.
That seems to be the direction the evidence is pointing. But, and this is an important but,
Okay.
to really maximize those benefits and, crucially, minimize potential risks, there's another really key piece: strength training.
Ah, yes. The classic power duo. Running and strength training. We hear that combo recommended a lot.
And for very good reason. Dr. Thompson specifically recommended strengthening the muscles that support the knee,
Like which ones?
like your quadriceps, the front of your thigh,
Hmm.
and your gluteal muscles, your glutes, and importantly, your core muscles.
The core, interesting. Why the core specifically for knee health?
Well, he explained that a strong core provides stability for your whole body when you run. It helps control movement, prevents awkward compensations.
Ah, so it stops you from putting weird stress on your knees because other parts are weak.
Exactly. It can significantly help prevent injuries related to running, especially when you're just starting out.
That makes perfect sense. Everything's connected.
Right. And Dr. Monteau highlighted that this lines up perfectly with the big recommendations, like from the American College of Sports Medicine.
What are they?
They advocate for including both strength and resistance training alongside your cardio. It's about that balanced, comprehensive approach to fitness, not just one thing.
Okay, so we've established that for healthy knees, running might actually be okay, maybe even beneficial, especially if you pair it with strength work.
Seems that way.
But what if you're new to running, or maybe you're just still a bit worried about potential joint discomfort? Are there specific things you can do to sort of minimize the risk?
Absolutely. The experts offered several key pieces of practical advice for injury prevention.
Good. Like what?
First one, warming up. Dr. Monceau emphasized this is really individual.
Right.
For some people, a few minutes of gentle movement might be enough to get the body ready. Others might need a longer, more structured warm-up.
So pay attention to your own body.
Exactly. Listen to what feels right for you. There's no single magic formula.
Okay, what else?
Gradual training. This came up specifically from Dr. Fleming.
Don't do too much too soon.
Precisely. He cautioned against ramping up your distance or intensity too quickly, especially if you're aiming for something big, like a marathon or even a half marathon.
Yeah, I can see how people get injured doing that.
He mentioned injuries often happen when people try to increase their mileage too aggressively.
Yeah.
It's about letting your body adapt, build that endurance over time. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. Got it. Sounds like smart advice. What else helps protect the knees?
Proper running form and the right equipment. These are critical.
Okay.
Dr. Fleming really stressed using good running technique and, crucially, wearing well-fitting supportive running shoes.
Shoes make a difference.
A big difference. Overlooking these, seemingly basic things, it can definitely contribute to pain, increase your risk of injury, and maybe even long-term issues like arthritis down the line.
So it's worth investing in good shoes and maybe even learning about proper form.
Absolutely. It might be worthwhile visiting a specialized running store. They can often analyze your gait and recommend the right shoe type.
Oh, interesting.
And Dr. Fleming also suggested maybe consulting with sports medicine physicians or certified personal trainers who know running for technique advice.
So getting some expert input could be valuable.
Very valuable, especially starting out or if you've had issues.
What about where you run? Does the surface matter? Like concrete versus, I don't know, a trail?
Yes, it certainly can.
Oh.
Dr. Thompson mentioned that running on softer surfaces, things like a running track or maybe grass or a dirt trail,
Okay.
can help reduce the impact forces on your joints compared to really hard surfaces like concrete sidewalks. Some research suggests these softer surfaces can be more forgiving.
Good to know. So if you have the option, maybe choose the track or the park path sometimes.
Could be a good strategy to mix it up.
Now, what if running just isn't someone's thing? Maybe they have limitations or they just don't enjoy it. Can they still get similar health benefits otherwise?
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Thompson pointed this out too. Activities like brisk walking, or maybe walking on an incline,
Like on a treadmill.
yeah, or up hills. These can offer similar cardiovascular benefits for many people. The key takeaway isn't just about running.
It's about moving.
Exactly. Movement in any form is beneficial.
Which I think brings us to a really important kind of overarching point that Dr. Fleming made.
Yeah,
He emphasized that movement in general is just crucial for overall health. It doesn't have to be running.
right.
It could be cycling, swimming, weightlifting, whatever you enjoy. The most important thing is finding activities you like and being consistently active.
Finding something sustainable for you.
Yeah, and he actually encouraged people to give running a try if they're interested, if it helps them get more movement into their lives. But it's not the only way.
Not at all. The key is finding your way to move more.
And we've been focused on knees, but let's not forget there are tons of other benefits to running, right? Assuming it works for you.
Absolutely. It's not just about joint health. Dr. Fleming touched on this too.
Like what?
Well, regular running is great for mental health, reducing stress, boosting mood. Huge benefits there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously great for cardiovascular health, your heart and lungs.
Sure.
Plus, regular physical activity like running has been linked to a lower risk of developing dementia later in life, and even certain types of cancer.
Wow, okay. So the list is pretty long.
It really is.
Yeah.
So when you weigh all those potential health advantages against the perhaps perceived risks to your joints,
Right.
for many people, the benefits column might look a lot heavier.
That really does put it all into perspective, doesn't it? The bigger picture of overall health.
That's the ultimate takeaway, I think. Look at the whole picture.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together for everyone listening.
Yeah.
That common belief, that knee-jerk reaction, running is bad for your knees.
Yeah.
Well, the experts we've looked at suggest that for healthy knees, that's probably not the full story.
It seems not. In fact, it might even offer some benefits, right? For cartilage health, strengthening muscles, stronger bones.
And crucially, the current research indicates running doesn't necessarily increase your risk of knee arthritis.
And maybe, just maybe, recreational runners might even have a slightly lower chance compared to non-runners, though the why is still a bit complex.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how these widely held beliefs get started and stick around. Maybe take a moment to consider how this information challenges any ideas you might have had about running and your knees.
And maybe this raises a question for you to think about. With this maybe slightly different understanding, what's one small step you could consider taking?
Towards more movement.
Yeah, towards incorporating more movement into your life. Could be a gentle walk, maybe a short jog if you feel up to it, or exploring something completely different you might enjoy.
And if you are thinking about trying running, or maybe running more, remember those key strategies we talked about.
Definitely. Start gradually, listen closely to your body.
Pay attention to your form, get the right shoes.
And don't hesitate to get some expert advice if you need it. From a physio, a running store, a knowledgeable trainer.
Right. It's about being smart about it.
Exactly. There's always more to learn about moving well and finding what works best for your individual body. We really hope this deep dive gave you a new, maybe more informed perspective on running and knee health.